and I buy probably 1,000 pounds at a time. This is like made with intentionality, but it's also made from someone who's not just a random person. Like, yeah, like you said, like I'm a house church pastor as well, which is crazy. I probably sound like an extrovert because like my dad was a pastor, like I grew up in the church and like around a bunch of people. So I'm comfortable talking to people, but I'm like more of an introvert because I'm like, I just want a minute to be quiet. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude. I just trying to recharge my brain, you know, for a minute. For me, like what drew me to pottery was like the handmade aspects in it. When you're centering the clay, like, you know it's ready to work with when it's not fighting you anymore. That idea of, I need to trust that the maker knows what he's doing and not try to resist that. And I let that be the basis of my belief, but then saying, okay, so like, what do we do with that? To the right potter, the skilled potter, nothing's ever too far gone. Like, I messed this ball of clay up. Like, what do? Do we just throw this away now? And the potter's like, no, like, we can reuse that. But then working that out, it's cool because clay has a memory and you kind of have to give it time to rest in between throwing. A lot of times we just want God to fix us right away. Sometimes you just kind of have to sit in that place for a little bit and then rest, and then God can work you again. That's what I like about house church, is just being able to ask those hard questions that come up in scripture and be like, okay, like, what do you think about this? And then now as a house church pastor, it's been fun to say, like, let's try to press into the things we might have been afraid, or things that came up, or things you struggle with certain verses. It's so nice to have a place where you can be vulnerable with people and also support people and love people and just meet up and be like, hey, like, let's do life together. Especially up here where community can be hard to come by. You're doing church in a different way. The most famous passage from Esther, like, perhaps you were born for such a time as this. It's the part right before that I think people forget, but it's also more important. He's like, if you choose not to do this, you're just gonna die anyways, and God's gonna bring salvation for the Jews from somebody else. And this idea that God's put us in a place with everything we need, he's like asking us to be part of his will. Like, he's like inviting us to be a part of it, but that it's not dependent on us. You can't just be stuck still. Like, you just have to move forward with courage.